bow time.
That's right. Wow, through contact.
Now, see, that's where he's better.
Virginia Tech ball with a minute left.
1 minute to play. 1 minute to play.
Hammond staying with that aggressive ball handling, even with the minute starting to close down for the Hokies.
Giving Mike Young quality minutes here.
Young for three. You bet.
Created by Hammond, the penetration.
A scoring drought of 3 minutes plus now for Tech. Hammond.
Pull up, yes, and one. And nice body control there by Hammond, able to stop on a dime, get some body contact, but elevate over.
I know it's going to be probably a higher number than what you hope for, but eventually it took things out of range.
Well, again, that's the beauty of this defense.
Another offensive board for the Hokies.
Yeah. A&T has to do a better job of keeping the Hokies from getting that second shot, because that's what you're going to get, a high percentage look. Nice pass by Hammond, a no look. Nobody fronted Poteet. And the exclamation point was certainly at St. Joe's for a long time.
Too short. Hammond's under it for the Hokies rebound. Another great feed. Tyler Johnson skyrocketing to the hoop.
Hokies sharing the basketball, and the main.
Working around the arc. Glasper lost the ball. Brown pokes it forward. Hammond, a dribble and the finish for Cal. Now coming in, hadn't played much for Virginia Tech. Doesn't start in this game, but comes off of the bench and makes an impact. Here comes Hammond on a steal and finishes with the layup.
Another big basket right there.
Here's Hammond. Goes inside, finds Brown. Another three. Keep feeding the hot hand.
Something happened to his hand.
Tipped away. Here comes Hammond.
Right on cue.
Now he's in double figures. 11 for Ben Hammond.
3 early in the game, and look who made the play.
Another steal. He'll get the ball into the front court now. Steps back for 3. What a sequence for the freshman.
The steal, the save, and the reward for the defensive effort.
Here is Ben Hammond coming off of an outstanding night against North Carolina A&T. So is Rodney Brown, and they're picking up right where they left off. Hammond to the right block, off the window and in.
Carnegie Johnson giving Benini a little bit of a blow.
Hammond, underhand to Burnham, and the right hand.
Virginia Tech on the turnover, the pass ahead from Ben Hammond. Emphatic throw in.
Not only does, I'm sure, the fan base like that, there's just so much talent in the Philly area.
Well, a 10-2 run, that's a nifty move and finish.
So here's Hammond off the ball screen of Poteet. Inside, feeds Lawal for the dunk. 4 triples in the pocket. Hammond, bounce pass, Wessler the catch, and one coming for Patrick Wessler.
And that was not an easy pass to catch. Good screen, and then he just...
70 seconds to go, and the Blue Devils on the way to 11-2 and 3-0, headed to Big D on Saturday. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech will bring Miami.
Searching for their first ACC win, 5-8 overall, 0-2 in conference play. Nice pass, Hammond finding Poteet. Johnson had the rebound tipped away from him by Ben Hammond. Now the freshman across the floor, and Lawal the alley-oop dunk.
Toby Lawal almost just hit his head on the rim on that alley-oop dunk. But Virginia Tech, when they are locked in on defense as well, they can get out on the break in their own right. You see.
We talked about the bigs going into this matchup today with Lynn Kidd against Malijah Poteet. So far, Poteet 10 first half points. Kidd only has 2. Hammond taking the screen from Lawal. And he feeds him for the alley-oop slam. That was gorgeous.
Just having a lot of success. Ben Hammond coming off, and Luau's doing a great job of rolling hard. He's not hesitating. He's not waiting. Spin off the glass, and been really impressed today with how good Miami is when they get out in the break. Just so good at finishing. But again, that has been their Achilles heel in this basketball game. There is just a complete breakdown defensively.
6 seconds. Hammond trying to get around Kidd. Poteet scores with 2.7 and a foul.
Took some of the wind out of the sails for Wake Forest tournament hopes.
Yeah, and Fredrickson there, aggressive drive down the middle, but just no payoff.
Hammond with the members bounce.
Look at Ben Hammond, the freshman, dump it inside. Luau again.
Got to get some more blocks in there.
If you're Christian Reeves, you're 7'2", got blocked by a guy who's 6'7". Here come the Hokies. Burnham sets his feet, knocks down the triple.
And Burnham, block on one end, 3 on the other.
Ball fed inside, turnover. Hammond, lightning quick, alley-oop. That's a good way you get things started. Toby Luau.
Poteet out front, here's Shoot on a kickback for Hammond. Young freshman leaning in, and one on the foul by Ames. So Ben Hammond, who had 6 points, 2 assists the other night, opens the score. 10 to shoot. Jaden shoots, got a career high today. Hammond working through, runner good.
What a huge basket.
Tyler Johnson's the best perimeter defender. He's got the ball now. Another freshman. Shot clock at 2. Hammond hoists and hits. Road win against Virginia. They shot the 3 ball well in both.
And I tell you what, Mike.
They're getting better defensively over the last 6 weeks. Shot clock at 2. Hammond leans in. The freshman ties the game.
And that's kicked outside. Johnson for 3, and he knocks it in.
Good pass by Hammond. Realized that.
Lee was down to 6. Now swells back to 8 for the Fighting Irish. Alley-oop. Oh, my!
When in doubt, just throw the ball up there and then just let Luau go and get it. Watch Hammond break the paint and understand he doesn't have anything. But then you don't see Luau up there. Done a better job in the last 5 minutes.
Bolsterda spins into the lane. Excellent hustle by Poteet. Numbers the other way. Hammond to Burnham lays it in, and we've got a 2-point game.
And that play was started by Poteet. Anytime you see your big man diving on the floor and ignite your offense. Virginia.
75-74 win for Virginia Tech. The Hokies were 11 of 23 from 3-point range. Luau caught it, other side of the rim, lays it in.
Freshman year to come in, learn the system, don't play, get bigger, get better.
Hammond goes to the free throw line after kissing it off the glass. This freshman, Ben Hammond out of Fairfax, Virginia, having a big second half.
Well, it was that screen and Buchanan a little late getting there on late, but Hammond just so quick off the dribble, does a nice job getting into the box. Just not quite as solid when he's coming off screens on the right side of the floor.
Who is this guy? And he's among the better 3-point shoot. Here comes Hammond again in the land of the Giants down there. And he gets it off to Johnson, who lays it in.
Key game for both these teams. We talked about it a little at the tip. That cut line to make the ACC tournament. And right here, and then the pick and roll right here, a little dribble handoff. The help is late, and then the freshman Hammond, beautiful delivery.
Ben Hammond back into the game for Virginia Tech. Mismatch here going against Kidd. Dumped down, Poteet hammers it home.
That was a great decision by Hammond.
That shot by Starling, contested by Wessler in transition.
Oh, nice pass.
And the jam.
Best way to get into the game is to be able to get to your no-look to your big fella to finish at the rim.
Shot clock at 7. Starling put the shoulder down and lost it to Hammond. On the run. Drops it off to Johnson. And we're tied at 70.
Go back to Davis and let him continue to work because, again, he understands that that's a matchup that he can win.
Hammond knocked it away. Got it back. On the run, Hammond. Around the defender, lays it in. Score the basket.
And one action by Ben Hammond. How about these Hokies clawing back into this?
How about 5 players in double digits for Virginia Tech in this game? Hammond right back to shoot. Got the defender in the air.
Oh, nice
and he
play.
lays it in.
A good recovery by Burnham.
Yeah, a couple of blocks for him tonight. Hammond.
Ben Hammond.